What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MLG Studios here in New York City. I'm Axel Toss, and I'm joined by Axel. I'm currently watching the round of 32 of the WCS America Premier League, match number 1 of the night. We have two players here currently tied 1-1, Killer versus Alive. Game 3 is going to be on Acheron Wastes.
Acheron Wastes, of course, one of my favorite maps. I think the one thing that's so amazing about Acheron Wastes is so many styles of work on it. Right? You can play crazy macro, but there's a kind of a opening below your natural that if your opponent controls, they can kind of do a lot of cool different strikes at either one of the potential 3rd/4th bases.
Yes.
Drop play is very good, and then as it gets to the late game, these expansions on the corners of the map become a real focal point between can you hold the corners, but also not give up control of the middle passageways and the high. There's so many tactical plays in this map. It's really fun.
It's a very diverse map. It was introduced in the beginning of Heart of the Swarm. Really cool map. I think a lot of pro players do prefer it, and that's why we see it played a lot in tournaments, because players aren't vetoing it. So it's a pretty cool map. We've seen a lot of great games on it, and it is the setting for Game 3 of this very important best of 3. The winner of this game will move on to the winner's match and be one step closer to advancing to the round of 16 of the Premier League of WCS America. In the bottom right-hand location, we have the blue Terran player representing Team Evil Geniuses and hailing from Korea. He is Alive. His opponent in the top left-hand location, it's the red Zerg player from Chile. Representing Team Clarity Gaming, your defending 2012 WCS South America champion. He is Killer. Probably no Proxy 2 racks this game.
Probably not. Probably just a single Proxy Rax. No, I'm just kidding. I think he's just going to scout.
Yeah.
It looks like to be standard stuff. It looks like actually a Command Center first.
Yeah.
So
once the money gets above 150 and there's nothing.
Yeah. Oh! eBay block!
Interesting.
Neat move. You know, I don't see this too often. There was a time when a lot of Terrans were doing this, and then it kind of lost some of its popularity. So Killer not going to go for the pull first, instead going to place his hatchery at a different location. And I actually don't mind this decision at all. I actually kind of like this. As long as you're comfortable playing from this position as Killer.
I mean, the other option is getting a spawning pool and waiting for lings and killing the engineering bay.
It's going to take so long, though.
Yeah.
Because you have to wait for the spawn pool to... Like, normally when you go 14 pool, 16 hatch, you build the hatch when the pool's about halfway done, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have to wait for the pool to totally finish, wait for Zerglings to be produced, wait for said Zerglings to kill an engineering bay. It's such a horrible delay. Whereas I think this is a better option as long as you're comfortable playing a 3-hatch game.
Yes.
Right? So there's some Zergs who only play 2-hatch lair attacks. Like we saw, I mean, we saw him do that in Whirlwind, a 2-hatch lair attack. And you can't play that style if you take your 3rd over here. You're going to have to play a 3-hatch, early 3-hatch build as soon as you kill the eBay, take a 3rd hatch. But Killer, very versatile. I've seen him play so many different openings. I'm actually not sure if he's the right guy to eBay block.
Well, it's a bold move from Alive. Like we were talking about in the last game, how it was a game that kind of deviated from the standard from the beginning. Once that SCV was scouted, there was only one Proxy Rax, and then from there it seemed like Alive wasn't completely on top of what his opponent was doing, which is represented by the fact that he died to that Roach all-in. So he was wanting to kind of get that game into another weird state again, which is a very interesting decision in my opinion.
It is. Especially considering that, you know, Alive is one of the top Korean players. And he has a lot of practice partners who play a lot of conventional builds, aggressive builds, harass builds, whatever, very standard builds. Killer is pretty much the South American champion. There's a lot of South Americans who play some very exotic styles. He plays some really crazy stuff. So I don't know if I would try to take it into the bizarre and a little bit funky games playing against a guy like Killer, because I feel like Killer is very comfortable in these situations.
What a strange place to put a Roach Worm. He's not getting speed for his Zerglings. He's going for a little bit of a Roach Rush here.
Oh yes, definitely. You see all the Overlords being built?
Yeah.
And you know what's awesome? Is Alive has to assume he's going to 3rd hatch right now.
Exactly.
Like what Zerg kills? Like what Zerg doesn't get the 3rd hatch?
Right.
In this position.
Right.
I tell you what, it's the guy who thinks that you're going to think he's going to get 3rd hatch.
Okay, so... Yeah, go on.
And then, of course, you're going to just go Hellions to harass while taking a 3rd CC fast. And if you're trying to harass with Hellions with a 3rd CC and only 2 Marines, and 8 Roaches show up, That's not good. Actually,
He's adding on 2 racks here, so
Alive.
he's not going for a third commit.
he's going for a timing. Probably a Hellion Marauder, Hellion Marine type timing. We saw Illusion do this, actually, against Moonglade.
Yes.
On the same map
That,
in their second series.
yeah, he actually, excuse me, Illusion in that game, he was analyzing his games. He said he misclicked Stim, and he meant to do a combat shield time.
Yeah, combat shield is a little more common.
It hits faster. Okay.
But, you know,
He sees the roaches.
Yeah.
Let's see how he reacts. Adding on a supply depot, going to hastily try to complete this
he's
wall
gonna try
off.
to hold this. I don't think he can hold the
You
low
think he should
ground.
retreat to his main?
I think he has to.
Well, let's
Depot
find out.
walls are great against versus speed lanes. Roaches, let's say hello SCVs, and mass repair maybe, but he's going to lose so many SCVs trying to hold this choke.
Doesn't have Widow Mines. His first 2 units out of the factory were the Hellions. We got a lot of roaches marching straight into the natural expansion. Going to target down the supply depot. So the SCVs are a little bit late. The bunker goes down, and now there's nothing to stop the roaches from coming forward. Alive going to retreat into his main base, already losing a decent amount of SCVs. The supply depot not going to raise up, and a lot of SCVs going to go down at the very least.
I don't think Alive has seen roaches before. Like he just keeps trying to defend it on the low ground.
Widow Mine gets taken out. One Marauder going to try to be a hero, but what's to kill these? Is this going to end right now?
It is. Alive.
A simple 8 roach push?
It looks like it. If he had a third orbital, maybe he could come back from here. I mean, the Marauder is eventually going to pick off these roaches, and Killer's playing it safe, right? He's not trying to do an all-in follow-up.
Right. He's droning up behind this.
Third hatchery.
And I'm almost afraid to hit the income tab.
Let's not. Let's keep it a mystery.
Okay, let's keep it
Keep it a mystery.
14 harvesters.
You weren't very loyal to my mystery
I wasn't.
theory.
43 to 14. Well, at least an Overlord is going to die here for Alive.
So
I think Killer's ahead. Is that an understatement?
Yeah. Was Alive? The thing is, I don't know if he should go for this timing. I think he should play
his
back.
other options, it's like
Just build a third CC and try to
Right.
macro it out, maybe. Because he can't reinforce his timing. And Killer saw the buildings. He knows the production capabilities, right? If the Zerg knows the exact production capabilities of their opponent, they should be able to defend these timings. Killer's roaches, though, he's actually out of position. He hasn't noticed that. Oh, okay, now he sees it. Now he sees it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Widow Mine's not going to...
Widow Mine gets taken out, and that's actually every single unit is so important right now for Alive to make this push work. He has to get so much damage done. The Hellions get surrounded, and speed is now done on the Lings. And Killer is so happy with all these trades. As long as he keeps that economy alive and he keeps on top of his injects, he's going to just keep making units. And I don't know what Alive does to stop that.
Alive has to retreat and try to macro out of it. He can't continue to trade, like you said. A trade with the Zerg, these small little groups of units, with Killer on 3 hatches, he's just going to easily outproduce and destroy these small groups of units.
Yeah. So I guess Alive has to try to turtle up a little bit on 2 bases, hope Killer overcommits to some sort of aggression or makes a misstep here or there, and just try to make this game go as late as possible, because I feel like the later this game goes, the better chances Alive has to come back in this game.
Widow Mines are always, if he gets a couple really big Widow Mine shots on Banings or Mutalists in the big game.
This is very helpful. Not many drones at the National Expansion location. Link trying to get us around here. Roach is scurrying up here. Needs to try to block the ramp, but the Hellions going to go up inside the main, and they're going to go straight for that mineral line.
The Queen should kill the red ones very quickly.
He's going to spot the Spire as well.
Oh, that's a nice scout for him. But you know what's? It might not be. Killer's just going to be like, all right, I'm not going to make mutas. He's going to go Baning and Speed Roach. I actually would be pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, he might.
He might. He has so many options here, but he could still go mutas. It's not like there's... It's not like it's a wrong choice at all.
Right. All right, 2 mutas in production, and he gets his flyer attacks.
I would like to see Killer get some Evo Chambers, though. This has been kind of a crazy game, so neither player has gotten any upgrades yet. Just now, double Evos starting for Alive.
Or double engineering base for Alive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good point. This tells me that he just wants to end the game right now, kind of a thing, if you're not getting Evo Chambers. Isn't that the only thing that means?
Or not necessarily end the game, but deny the third.
Okay,
he wants to prioritize denying the third. I think he just wanted to get as many mutas as possible right off the bat.
Sure.
Because remember, even though Killer has 3 bases, the droning throughout this game has been kind of rocky because of that aggression and because of late third. So he's up to good drones now, but leading up to this muta thing, he hasn't always had the insane drone count that ideally in a normal game as Zerg would have. Of course, in a normal game, Terran would be in a much better spot than Live is now as well. These units are going to get stuck!
Oh no, the units are going to get surrounded here by the Link. The Roach is coming forward as well, and all of these Marines are going to fall. Again, Alive can't afford to make any mistakes at this point. 2 Widowmines going to be burned, 4 Widowmines here at the natural expansion. There is an Overseer in this competition. The Ling's getting peeled away, trying to absorb those shots. Some Roaches taking some damage, but no response to the Mutas. The Mutas taking down every single Marine. 36 Zerglings in production behind this. And some more Marines going to be coming out, and he's going to directly engage those. He's going to be just fine. Going to spot those Widowmines and take those out. And Killer might be able to end the game right now. He's up 109 to 48 in supply. And a bunch of Lings are about to spew across the field.
SCVs just got absolutely melted. There aren't any SCVs that are natural of Alive. There's just, well, there's now a few, but there's pretty much just mules. He is being wrecked here by Killer.
GG from Alive, and Killer takes down Alive in the first match of the evening, 2-1. Killer's going to be advancing to the winner's match. Alive will be dropping to the loser's match. I just said that. Wow. I don't think a lot of people expected that.
No, they didn't. You know, how many times does Killer have to be the best in the world until we start expecting it? I mean, literally, the last 3 tournaments he's been in, he's taken out all the best guys.
Yeah.
It's just like, we just keep expecting not to happen again. He's like, no, I'm still actually really good. What a performance by Killer. I mean, the mind games throughout the series were absolutely amazing, and Alive was just totally unprepared for the mental game of Killer.
I mean, you said it in the beginning. We were commentating the game. The hatchery is being taken at the 3rd base. That's not a build Killer necessarily does if he's able to get his natural. He takes that 3rd base. Nick says to me, Alex, he's going to go 3 hatch opening. And that's the logical assumption that's going to happen. That's what Alive is thinking too. But Killer says, no, hold on a second. I'm going to build a Roach Warren at my 3rd. And I'm gonna push with 8 to 10 Roaches. Alive, again, was expecting the 3-hatch play, was expecting the auto late game, completely caught off guard by the Roaches.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what won Killer that game.
Don't play Killer in a game where all the timings are thrown off and it gets weird. Because he is so comfortable in any situation. It's like, you can say, all right, you don't start the game with 6 drones. You start the game with 3 drones, an extra Overseer, and you start with a Queen too. And he's like, all right, sure. I'll come up with a good build to make this work. I'll Overseer rush and contaminate him or something. I don't know.
Great play there from Killer. Able to come from being down 1-0 to win 2 in a row to be in the winner's match. Again, Alive is going to be the loser's match. Coming up next, guys, it's going to be Major versus Hero. You don't want to miss this as the WCS America Round of 32 coverage continues. Of course, we're covering Group A. We'll see you in just a bit.